Happy Tuesday. Lots to discuss. First and foremost, what I'm about to show you guys on your screens is captured real footage that was taken moments following the inauguration. I promise you, this is not AI. Take a look at this. All right, I'm just kidding. That definitely was AI, but it's funny. There are so many memes, so many AI videos. Everyone is just still in the post-inauguration glow. It's been just 24 hours since America staged her big comeback. But Elon Musk got a little bit too excited. He came right out the gate with a Nazi salute. Check this out. Oh, come on, Elon. Too soon. Too soon, Elon. That's right. We are deep in the Project 2025 handbook. I'll tell you what you missed while you were sleeping. It's a lot of tears and, of course, screaming about Adolf Hitler. Welcome back to Candace. Elon Musk gave a Nazi salute. I mean, straight out of the gate. He didn't even wait. He just took the training wheels right off. Of course, I'm kidding, but the internet is not kidding, okay? They are outraged at this moment because Trump is back in office. So this feels, I don't know, strangely warm, nostalgic. Outrage is the name of the game. And I'm going to tell you what they're saying first before I properly contextualize that gesture that he just made. All right. So the backstory here is Elon made that gesture during a speech at the Capital One Arena on Monday, celebrating President Donald Trump's inauguration. And here is CNN's exceptional live coverage of that moment.
He's just wrapped up here. You can hear the...
No,
all right,
Elon.
so we just showed that. We just showed that.
Right. It's worth salute. It was quick. I think our viewers are smart and they can take a look at that, but it certainly was, it's not something that you typically see at American political rallies, put it that way.
No, it was not something that you usually would see. And it was quick, as you point out, it was very quick, but it was in a moment of intensity for him as he came out dancing, and then he did that.
He did that. He did that. And our viewers, I mean, it was quick. It was very quick. And he came out dancing. They don't even know what to say. Don't worry. Leave it to Twitter. Leave it to X, rather. Leave it to Democratic strategist Sawyer Hackett, who wrote this on X. Our new co-president, Elon Musk, gives a Nazi salute on day one of the Trump presidency. Oh, this is what they mean when they say we're so back. That must be what we mean, obviously. I'm sorry you guys didn't get to page 495 of the Project 2025 handbook, or you would have known. You're going to start seeing these hand signs coming at you real quick. Another tweet here from JoJo from Jurors. This person, she writes, if you are not outraged by this, you are not paying attention. If you are not outraged, I want you to know that it is because you are not paying attention, okay? And Anya backs this up with a historical fact that I don't even know if it's real or true. This user writes, grandson of Nazi party members Elon Musk throwing up Nazi salutes at the U.S. presidential inauguration, while the crowd of Republicans goes wild with applause and cheers. We're so back! Obviously, that must be real. It must be true. It's on CNN, it's on X, it's trending, and obviously they couldn't even give us 24 hours without referring to us all as Nazis. Like I said, it feels like a warm blanket, like we're back in 2016. Mike Gibbs. I always love the drama. It's the probably a lot of punctuation coming up here. Mike Gibbs gave us the punctuation. He wrote this. I saw it. We all saw it. Elon gave a Nazi salute. I'm still gasping from the horror of that sight on my television screen. He's literally shaking right now. We're back to literally shaking, guys, okay? And lastly, Itai Shur, who apparently has not read a book about our Apollo program or knows nothing about NASA whatsoever, the history of NASA, writes this: I'd rather not entrust space travel to a guy who does a Nazi salute. Ooh, when he finds out that the entire space program was a bunch of Nazis that we literally brought over from Germany in Operation Paperclip, he's going to be deeply upset about the space program. Anyways, it's all good because the ADL, who just waves a magic wand and goes, you're an anti-Semite, you're not an anti-Semite, came out and defended Elon Musk. They said this. They This is a delicate moment. It's a new day, and yet so many are on the edge. Our politics are inflamed, and social media only adds to the anxiety. It seems that Elon Musk made an awkward gesture in a moment of enthusiasm, not a Nazi salute. But again, we appreciate that people are on edge. You get it. He's been forgiven. They've come and they've forgiven him. I mean, I'm on the ADLs list. There's like a whole paragraph about me, and I've done way less things, and it doesn't matter. They just decide whether or not you are on their yes or no list. You know, it's like those eggs in Willy Wonka, like you're a good egg or you're a bad egg, and that's it. And I'm a bad egg, and Elon Musk is a good egg because he went to the Auschwitz Museum. I don't know, but the reality is I'm not an Elon Musk stan. You guys know that. I'm going to give you my real take on this. Here is the full clip contextualized. Okay, this is what Elon Musk said right before he did that gesture.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
Okay, so
my heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured.
So he does a gesture and he says, my heart goes out to you. And see, my hand's going this way, his hand went the other way with his heart. And that could be one little thing. And it's a difference between whether you're on the ADL's list and Stop Anti-Semitism's list, or whether or not you're totally fine. Okay, his hand went the wrong way. And the reality is, as soon as I saw it, I knew what it was. I've watched Elon Musk in interviews. Again, I'm not an Elon Musk stan, but he has been very open about the fact that he has Asperger's. Okay, and it's that puts him on the spectrum. That means that socially, he's a genius in these other areas, in these other arenas. You want to talk about space program? You want to talk science stuff with Elon Musk? Yeah, he's your guy. He's the person whose homework you want to copy, okay, in chemistry class and physics class. But when it comes to social etiquette, he's not all there. That's why he's very awkward in a lot of interviews. And what Asperger's is essentially socially, sometimes you do some things and you just, it's just not the right time to say those things or do those things or how you should do those things. And I did actually, for the first time, feel kind of really bad for him because it felt like he was so well-meaning and my heart goes out to you, and he just had no idea. And I can't imagine what it's like coming home and realizing that you set the internet aflame, and it is the #1 conversation that is being had about Trump's inauguration. But again, Elon Musk, I really appreciate that we're back, that they didn't even give us 24 hours before we are back to being called Nazis. That's what Trump supporters are always called forever. And so that is going to be the narrative. But moving on to the #2 moment here. I don't know how I missed it in my live coverage. It was because by the time we cut in, apparently Jeff Bezos and his fiancée Lauren Sanchez had already sat down. So I did not see Lauren Sanchez's outfit, which is hilarious because earlier this week, actually it was yesterday's show, I was speaking about how Jeff Bezos is kind of the only billionaire that doesn't bother me because he makes sense to me. Like, you can just tell he was like super dweeby, worked really hard, created this business, threw himself into it, and then realized, oh my gosh, I'm the richest man in the world, and now I just want to have like a bimbo blow-up doll. And he just went out and got that. And he doesn't seem to involve himself too much in the political scene. He's just always out partying with Lauren Sanchez, his now fiance. I had no idea she wore this to the inauguration. I am like just stunned. She is quite literally wearing a bralette with her boobies are out. I mean, there's no other way to say it. She's got the children out, and they're not, you know, it's very strange to think that this is an acceptable thing to wear. And again, very on brand for them in their relationship. He's into that. He likes that. I don't know if this is like a relationship kink, but it is the most inappropriate thing that you could possibly wear. First and foremost, he's your fiance. Who are you taking these puppies out for? Like, he is your fiance. Have some respect, have some decorum. But like I said, I feel like it's their thing. And so people are understandably going, this is so disrespectful. He has the money not to be respectful. That's it. He's so rich. He can just buy himself into this. He doesn't even have to respect the office. He can just bring his fiance, and she has her helicopter license. They're flying around Saint-Tropez, doing their thing, and that's what she likes to wear. But what was really funny is people capturing the Zuck gaze. So some of us have wondered if he's a lizard. This might mean that he could be human part-time. He might be like a humanoid or something, because oh yeah, there it is. He just went ahead decided to take a look, and he's wondering, can I afford this? Can I afford this more than Jeff Bezos can afford this? And I think your wife, when she catches this, is going to be deeply upset. Zuck, don't even think about it, okay? You're still a lizard in my book. Anyways, another internet meltdown moment. Of course, we knew this was going to come, but again, it's so soon. It's so quick. You know, we're kind of back to the emotions of 2016 when they were showing us pictures and saying that these kids were being left in cages at the border. And oh my gosh, look at how these kids are being treated at the border because of Trump. You know, we're supposed to feel really sympathetic for people that are trying to break into our country. That's like kind of the running theme. Well, adios, amigos. Trump says you got to go. He's doing all sorts of things. He's ending birthright citizenship. He's designating drug cartels as terrorist organizations. But one thing that he did that they instantly started trying to make us cry about was he ended the CBP One app. Okay, it's an app. And it went bye-bye. I'll explain to you what the app does, but I got to show you what this Washington Post reporter, Arelis Hernandez, tweeted. She wanted us to see the video, and she wrote, migrants in Ciudad Juarez who were waiting for their 1 p.m. CBP One parole appointments learned 20 minutes ago that the app has shut down and those appointments are no longer valid. And she shows this video of a woman who's legitimately crying. Take a look. And you can see, obviously, in this video, in case you're listening on audio, everyone's got their cameras out, which means with a lot of speed and great reception, they instantly sent this to a Washington Post reporter and basically wanted to show, you know, how horrible Trump is. How could you do this to this woman in Ciudad Juarez? How could you send her home? How could you tell her she has to stay home where she is? That's terrible. And if you're not crying, it's because you're a bad person. I am not crying. Actually, this was the mandate. This is exactly what we wanted Trump to do, okay? Our borders have been porous. It has been a disaster. And the CBP One app was very popular because it was essentially an online lottery system that just grants appointments to thousands of people daily at 8 border crossings. It's like unimaginable. I didn't even have to explain that to you. Like, Candace, what do you mean? It's just like a lottery. Hey, you person sitting in Ciudad Juarez, want to come to America? Yeah, let's do that. And they're able to enter the U.S. under an immigration parole, and the president has the authority to exercise that. And Joe Biden exercised that authority more frequently than any other president since that program had been created since 1952. So just millions of people were coming into our country, this woman through a lottery system. And so Trump revoked the lottery ticket. And I have to say, given everything that's happening in our inner cities, I feel nothing. I feel absolutely nothing, but that could partially be due to the fact that I'm pregnant with a boy again. I tend to feel less, and I want to feel more. I really do want to feel more. But I felt a lot, okay? Because of this exceptional protester. I had missed this yesterday. Of course, there's always protesters. We've got to protest Trump. We got to protest for the next 4 years, okay? But this person got really clever, and they must have spent a lot of time at the arts and crafts store to pull this together. It's a guillotine protester. Let's just throwing this back to like the French Revolution. It says this. It's a guillotine. I don't really know what I'll say. It says, come get some. And I'm not sure about this placement of the LGBT flag, the pride flag next to this person. Can you zone out again there? Again, guys, rerun this clip. Because when you see the guillotine next to the pride flag, you're going, is this a threat to gay people and lesbians? I don't like this at all. This is terrible. Are you going to start chopping their heads off? Is that what's happening here? And I don't know why "come get some" is spelled wrong. I'm not sure what it's really about, but I want to say that I really appreciate that protester, because that person at least took a little bit of effort. You know, he gave a little bit of effort into hating Donald Trump and his supporters. And it was an extraordinarily cold day to be guillotining anyone. And so that was exceptional. But I'll tell you what Trump has done in the last 24 hours. It is a long list. Okay. And we're not going to get to all of it, but you can see why people are crying on the internet. Okay. First and foremost, he granted clemency, as he promised, immediately to roughly 1,500 January 6th defendants and commuted the sentences of 14 of them. He renamed the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. And yeah, we're coming for you, Panama. You know what's coming next, Panama. Somebody here in the chat is definitely listening to the show from Panama. They're like, why are we? I don't know, but you're on the list and we're coming for you. As I said earlier, he designated cartels as foreign terrorist organizations, which will allow him to just go over congressional powers to get things done once they are officially designated as terrorists. He ended DEI programs in the federal government. So this is crazy, but you might actually have to be good at your job. Like being black or being a woman or being trans is not going to get you the job. You're going to have to just actually write down your skills. Wild, insane. So much hate. I can't stand it. I don't know why he's doing this stuff. And then even crazier, he formally recognized that there are only two sexes, male and female, to be recognized for the federal government. So even worse, when you apply for a federal job and you are looking and it says which sex are you, you're not going to get 27 options anymore. And that's very sad. That is very, very sad to hear. Trump is doing that. He pulled us out of the Paris Agreement again. Okay, that obviously was the Climate Accord agreement. I can't believe there are people dumb enough to believe that giving taxes and money to the government is going to change the temperature. It's incredible. And my favorite thing is he withdrew the USA from the World Health Organization. Yes, okay. We talked about this on my other show, Shot in the Dark. It's coming back at the end of this month. But the World Health Organization is essentially a way, majority controlled by Bill Gates, okay? It's a way to control the world. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievably corrupt. Yes, America gives way too much money to the health organization. I think it's Bill Gates first and then America. And it's very obviously has nothing to do with health. And so I'm so glad that he's done that. That feels like something that's a part of the Make America Healthy Again initiative that we're hopefully going to get from RFK Jr. And so you should understand, obviously, that people are upset and they are crying already, and they're going to keep crying, and we are going to hear plenty more people refer to us as Nazis, as white supremacists, as internalized misogynists. It's all coming. And the best way to look at that, ladies and gentlemen, is we really are so back. I am just thrilled. I'm still smiling from yesterday's inauguration. All right, before we get into this next story, you guys, I want to remind you about preborn. Some terrible and things that are happening is that actually some great news that's happening is that the abortion pill reversal treatment, there actually is that, which provides women with a second opportunity to choose. And it's going to bring so many babies back to life. When you join forces with Preborn Ministries, you get to empower women to reverse the curse. What you might not be aware of is that even though Roe was overturned and abortion has been greatly restricted in many states, the abortion pill has superseded surgical abortions, accounting now for over 60% of all abortions. Preborn's network of clinics are on standby for women in their darkest hour. They meet them with God's love and free services to help them choose life. Through ultrasounds and the abortion pill reversal protocol, Preborn has rescued over 300,000 lives. So you can start this new year right by supporting life and donating to Preborn today. One ultrasound costs just $28, and $140 will help rescue 5 babies. So to donate, you just dial pound 250 and you say the keyword baby. Again, that's pound 250 and say the keyword baby, or you can donate securely at preborn.com/Candace. Again, that's preborn.com/Candace. All right. TikTok also, aside from us being back, TikTok is back. And apparently it was a very big deal, especially for Gen Z. I gave you guys the rundown of that. I told you why I was totally with Gen Z on it, the background of why they were getting rid of TikTok because they couldn't control speech. And I don't think you understand how much of an emotional deal that pending deadline of Sunday was for Gen Z. Like, Gen Zers were deeply and emotionally impacted by the prospect of not being able to communicate on TikTok. So I just want to show you this one young woman, Emily, as the ban date was approaching. This was Emily on the internet.
And to the US government, I'm never forgiving you for this. And I'm never going to trust you ever again, because you just, like that, took away millions of people's income and livelihood. And who does that? So I'm never trusting you ever again with anything.
So I'm starting to give up hope that there's going to be a Hail Mary moment at the end of this that's going to save this app.
I feel so dumb coming on the internet and crying about an app. But the fact is that this has been a sense of community for me for years now.
Yeah, it's been a sensitivity for her. So just so you understand the depth of that, I mean, tons of videos of young women crying. There's a massive TikTok celeb named James Charles. He's got millions and millions of followers. And he too was just, didn't know what to do with this idea and this prospect of TikTok not being there for Gen Z. Take a listen.
I gotta keep it real. I am crashing the out right now. I don't know what to do. Oh my God. I've already opened and closed the app probably 6 times already just to keep getting the same stupid warning message. Oh my God. Like, this just this is so dystopian. First of all, I feel pathetic that I am freaking out like this over an application being unavailable on my phone. But also, like, this has been a massive part of our life for the last 6 years. And normally when something happens, I would get on TikTok and start complaining, and I can't even do that. I feel like disconnected. I feel cut off from the world and my community. This is crazy. This is crazy. God, and I can't, like, now I'm rooting for Trump? Ew! God, like, make America great again, I guess. God.
Well, you guys, I will say I found myself aligning with Gen Z, but for much, I would say, more severe reasons. And like I said, I think it was best exemplified when Rand Paul, right before the timeline was over, the doom date, as they were all walking the plank, he created his first TikTok ever. He joined TikTok for the first time with just like 48 hours left to spare. And he explained it much better about why he was joining it.
Why am I joining TikTok just as the government ban begins? Because I don't like being told what to do. I don't like being told what I can think or what I can say. The courts may think there's an exemption to the First Amendment. I don't. I joined TikTok today as a form of civil disobedience. To the 170 million Americans who use TikTok, don't give up, don't give in, resist.
And I want to say this, what he is saying is very true. Like when they start coming for speech and they start selling you reasons for why, oh, well, it's because we're worried about Chinese data. Oh, it's because we're worried about, the rise of racism. Oh, we're worried about the rise of anti-Semitism. Never accept these excuses, ever, ever. Free speech is so important. We have to be warriors for speech, even to the point that I was willing to freely give my data to China because it's my decision. If I want to, here, have it. I know, but it's between China and the CIA. I don't really care. I find both to be a threat, if we're being honest. And that's kind of like the lesson in this, is that it was bigger than the concept that they were trying to sell to us. It was about controlling speech and censoring speech and wanting to control the internet. And by the way, it still is. Even though it's been restored, it still is. But I'm proud to announce that they only had to resist Gen Z for 12 hours because Trump, when he was about to assume office, asked all of the parties involved to just hold the line, and they did. TikTok was immediately restored 12 hours later. Much to the glee of Gen Z, somebody created this really funny GIF video on TikTok regarding them being restored.
Oh my God. It's a surreal feeling. We did it. We did it! Oh my God, we did it!
I think that's how they felt. Truly, that is how they felt, guys. So it's back, and you have Trump to thank right now. Temporarily, we'll see what happens. All right, let's get into these Obama divorce rumors, okay? We discussed this on the show yesterday. You guys listening to the show are not serious people. I said, hey, guys, what do you think is going on with Michelle Obama? And some of you terribly wrote maybe she had prostate cancer, which I thought was really, really mean. I cannot take you guys anywhere. Anyways, we should definitely take a closer look at these divorce rumors because obviously something is going on, okay? Now, Michelle Obama, love her, hate her, believe her, it doesn't really matter. The reality is she has always shown up for her commitments, okay? In terms of being a first lady, she has played that role very well. Even after you leave office, by the way, you're still expected to show up to certain political events. It's like a lifetime appointment in that way, right? And unless you die or are dying, they expect you to be there. And one of those types of events that they expect you to be at are presidential funerals, okay? And another one of those events, obviously, is the inauguration. And Michelle Obama, despite all of the rhetoric about Trump and Melania, back when they first assumed office in 2016, she showed up, or 2017 rather, January 2017, she showed up and she, played the part no matter how she felt about Trump. You can see here, this is a throwback and her greeting her at the White House, right, for that transfer of power. So it was raised some alarms, I should say, when Jimmy Carter died and Michelle Obama did not show up with Barack Obama. It was like, okay, what's going on? And I think they said that she was overseas. I actually don't remember what their excuse was. And people online were going, no. There's like a divorce happening. They're separating. And I ignored it because that didn't really make sense to me. I was like, okay, guys, it's plausible that she did have some commitment where she could not make it for Jimmy Carter's funeral, and we should just let it go. I don't know what that commitment would be because she doesn't really have a job, right? They're just unbelievably wealthy. But I don't know. I just didn't think that a divorce was happening. But then she doesn't show up for Trump's inauguration the second time, okay? That is very strange. That, when he walked out by himself, I went, okay, this is now getting weird. where actually is Michelle Obama? What is going on between Michelle Obama and Barack Obama? Are they even living together? Have they not been together? We did obviously see them during the Democratic National Convention together, but these are two significant events that she has missed. So it's entirely plausible that she's sick, and it's entirely plausible that they are separated. Now, Obama did issue what people thought was a very late birthday tweet, and I think in large part people thought that he's only doing this because people are noticing that he's not posting a birthday tribute to her. And he tweeted this. He wrote, "Happy birthday to love of my life, Michelle Obama. You fill every room with warmth, wisdom, humor, and grace, and you look good doing it. I'm so lucky to be able to take on life's adventure with you. Love you." Okay, great. We appreciate that. But here is what the media is saying. They're saying that the noise is getting louder. According to a report, apparently she was furious to see that Obama was yucking it up with Donald Trump at the Carter funeral. A Beltway insider added that Michelle has been checked out of life in Washington, D.C. since leaving the White House in January of 2017, following Barack Obama's second term, and also noted that despite the fact that Obama's main home is in the Colorama neighborhood of DC, which is a property that they purchased together back in 2017, Michelle Obama reportedly spends the majority of her time at Martha's Vineyard, where they own a massive oceanfront estate. Yeah, the people that tell you all about climate change inevitably always tend to buy these massive, and in their case, $11.75 million oceanfront estates. Go figure. That same source added that Michelle Obama is rarely in DC, while others noting that when she was there last summer, it was without Obama, and she appeared happy and she appeared content. So it is plausible that they are just living two separate lives, and because they're former first lady and president, they feel as though they can't get divorced on paper. They're happy just living two lives apart. In a 2022 panel, we should also note here that Michelle confessed that she had harbored resentment toward her husband for nearly a decade. And she said, quote, "People think I'm being catty. It's like there were 10 years where I could not stand my husband." It's quite a strong quote, and that's quite a very long time not to be able to stand your husband. I wouldn't be able to stand not being able to stand my husband for even a minute. So 10 years sounds like a very long time, and that's a very strong statement. And Barack Obama later confirmed that it definitely helped their relationship to be out of the White House because they were able to spend a little more time together. So they are now also dealing with rumors of infidelity. There are claims that Barack Obama has been involved with actresses, and those actresses are saying that that's not true, but there's something going on. Okay. I'm just saying, it's pretty obvious to me and the rest of the world that she did not show up at the inauguration. And there just has to be a reason for that, right? Like, it just has to be a reason for that. Okay, before we get to this next story, I have to remind you guys about Pure Talk, because the country was founded on freedom from a country that forced us to buy overpriced tea, then tried blockading us when we dumped their tea into the ocean. Well, it's time to throw your overpriced big wireless contract overboard too. You do not need to pay $100 a month just to get a free phone. Pure Talk, my cell phone company, says no to inflated prices with a qualifying plan of just, excuse me, with a qualifying plan of just $45 a month, you can get a free Samsung Galaxy. Pure Talk is a premium service at a fraction of the price that you're currently paying. You'll get unlimited talk, text, 25 gigs of data, and a mobile hotspot, all on America's most dependable 5G network. That is right. You have the same towers, the same coverage as the big guys, just a lot more affordable. So get your free Samsung Galaxy by visiting puretalk.com/Owens today. Switching is very easy, and it can be done as little as 10 minutes. Again, that is puretalk.com/Owens to claim your free Samsung Galaxy with a qualifying purchase from Pure Talk. And reminding you about American financing, because I know the average person finds it difficult to pay expenses every month, and in most cases, there's not much left over to cover any extras. Most Americans aren't getting a big raise, expenses are up, and it's very hard to manage without grabbing the credit card. If you're a homeowner and you're frustrated with that cycle, then you should make a 10-minute no-obligation phone call today to my friends at American Financing. If you're constantly carrying a credit card balance each and every month with a rate in the 20s or even the 30s, American Financing can show you how to put your hard-earned equity to work, and you can get out of debt. Their salary-based mortgage consultants are saving their customers an average of $800 a month, and if you get started today, you may not even have to make next month's mortgage payment. There are no upfront fees, so it costs nothing to find out how much you could be saving. So call American Financing today at 800-795-1210. Again, that's 800-795-1210. Or visit americanfinancing.net/Owens. Again, that's americanfinancing.net/Owens. All right, guys. Vivek, He's out. Apparently, the Department of Government Efficiency is so efficient that before it even started, they got rid of one kind of government supposed to be employed, and that was Vivek Ramaswamy. Now, there is more here than meets the eye. And honestly, I could just text him and find out because I know Vivek. But first, let's speculate before I do that. I will try to get some answers for you. So there was all of these rumors that Vivek and Elon Musk were not getting along, okay? This is a headline from Politico. Everyone wants him out. How Musk helped boot Ramaswamy from Doge, okay? Apparently, Elon Musk made it known that he wanted Ramaswamy out in recent days. And I have to tell you this is a thing. This is a common theme, okay? Apparently, Elon Musk is running the show at Mar-a-Lago. And so it may be fair for people to be suggesting he's the co-president because he's been in Trump's ear telling him, get rid of this person, get rid of this person. And there is, to me, and again, this could be part of his Asperger's, but there's a lack of respect when he just sort of tweets it. And then because it almost feels like it's a mandate to Trump to like get rid of somebody or not hang around someone. Like he randomly tweeted that he didn't like Nigel Farage, or like Nigel Farage didn't have what it took, knowing fully well that Nigel Farage and him have been at Mar-a-Lago like together. And so I think it then makes it so that these relationships are quite awkward for Trump to manage. And I told you guys with the Doge thing, I was excited about Vivek Ramaswamy because I spent time with him. And he's remarkable. He's hardworking. He doesn't stop. And he deeply understands these issues about how the government is run because he had to think through this when he ran for president. And Elon Musk hasn't really done that. He hasn't done anything, actually, but like yell at us and call us racist for not wanting unlimited H-1B1 visas. And so I'm wondering how Elon Musk maneuvered, if this headline is to be believed from Politico, to get Vivek taken out while he gets to stay. And is it just because he's richer? And maybe that's what it comes down to. Is Trump just like, all right, let me see everyone's 401ks and I'm going with you because you got more money? It's seeming a little bit like that, right? It is, like I said yesterday, not a good look when Trump has Mark Zuckerberg as one of the people that's sitting with him at the church on the day of the inauguration, like a guy who caused so much pain for Trump supporters and anti-vaxxers suddenly just buys himself a seat at the table. Not a good look, okay? So anyways, now, at first they tried to deny it and go, oh, none of this is true. He's not leaving. Now, officially, Vivek has announced that he is leaving and that he is instead going to enter the gubernatorial race in Ohio. And I feel like that's kind of a pretty flowery way of not acknowledging to the public that something happened behind the scenes. And you know, Steve Bannon has said that he finds the Elon Musk element to be problematic. Elon Musk being one of the people that's whispering in Donald Trump's ear. And that's largely because he is disrupting these relationships as someone with a self-admitted, like social, I guess I wouldn't call like Asperger's syndrome a social disorder, but I guess you could call it a social syndrome that makes it so that he sometimes misses the forest for the trees. Here is what Steve Bannon had to say about Mr. Elon Musk.
He's got a glass jaw. He can't take because of the autism or where he's on the spectrum. He's clearly not. He's got the maturity of an 11-year-old. You can tell that. But he, it's obvious. He can't take criticism. One of his weaknesses is that he needs to be loved. He needs the masses to love him. You can tell he's on the stage. He needs that glory. This is to have a digital ghetto and to only have raised up what praises him. That is like the little boy's mentality. If I want to be the superhero, I want to put the cape on and kind of skip around. You see this a lot in Danbury. These what they call chomos, what they call these sex offenders. They've got this. They've had a maturity level that has stopped, and they want to. They want to be. They all watch the movies that have the Cape Crusaders on there. It's an absolute indication of immaturity.
I hate to say this, but I agree with Steve Bannon. I think that's right. I think that you can very easily become an enemy of Elon Musk if you just disagree with him. I think that is how he's running the show there. And I bet that Vivek came in with ideas, again, totally surmising here. I have no insight. And they clashed because they're both two successful people. And I bet that Vivek thought that he had it right. But Elon Musk was thinking, yeah, I gave more money and I'm in his ear and you ran against him. And so I'm going to make it problematic that you disagree with me because actually I'm not willing to share the Department of Government Efficiency. I want to be the Department of Government Efficiency. And I don't like Elon Musk in that position. I know it's not favorable. Everyone's an Elon Musk stan. He's so amazing. My gut just tells me that he is very much a part of this sort of AI generation of billionaires. I find it to be in conflict with my views as a Catholic, and I'm not into this sort of robotic future that he desires, you know, where he like applauds and claps about the idea of going to Mars. It just conflicts with me spiritually. And again, if you are so rich that you don't think that anybody can question your ideas without you shouting and screaming, like we saw that on display with the H-1B1 visas, people offered a rebuttal. People that have been in MAGA forever. He just joined 10 minutes ago, and he just started calling them racist. Like literally just started calling everybody racist. And that is exactly what C-Ben is describing, unable to take any criticism. And if you do, he will bite your head off and start bad talking you. And I think that that may have been what happened with Vivek Ramaswamy and him, but I will find out because I've got Vivek's number. I'm going to find out for you guys. I'm going to get the piping hot tea. Speaking of piping hot tea, this is absolutely hilarious. I just want to share this with you because it will make you smile. So everybody knows, but I can't say it. Oh, I feel like Kanye. We're going to have to put it Kanye, but everybody knows that MLK catching bullets was not something that the government was not involved in. Perhaps, maybe so. There's some theories floating around the government could have had something to do with it. Well, check this out. I don't know why they do this. It's very funny, but the FBI tweeted yesterday. Of course, it was MLK Day because after they off you, they give you a holiday. And they wrote, today, the FBI honors the life and work of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. We reaffirm our commitment to Dr. King's legacy of fairness and equal justice for all. And it gets a community note, a fact check. It says, the FBI engaged in constant surveillance of King and attempted to discredit and blackmail him to influence him to stop organizing. King's family believes the FBI was responsible for his death. Ooh, that's not the fact check the FBI wants. You look into the King story, and I have some questions. But I have to tell you, the responses to this were just exceptionally hilarious yesterday. This is obviously that famous meme. It's you right now, writing this to the FBI. FBI shoots MLK, turns around and says, today we celebrate MLK. This is another response to the FBI meme. This person writes, just because we killed MLK doesn't mean we can't miss him. It's so funny. I just love it. I absolutely love it. And it's fantastic because now that Trump's in office, he has promised us that he is going to release both the JFK files and the MLK files. Now, he did make that promise in his first term, and he said, oh, I'm going to wait and whatever. He shouldn't have waited. Obviously, you're not guaranteed 2 terms. Well, now he is guaranteed 2 terms, and he is promising. I don't know why that was. I wish that was day one. It's taking too long. We've waited long enough for those JFK files, long enough for those MLK files. Just release it today. And I bet somebody higher up is going to stop that, because then it would make us not trust our government even more, if it's possible, if we could get to at a lower level of trust. I don't think it is, but it will probably unlock another basement of governmental distrust. All right, guys, now let's get to some of your comments. I'm just excited to see what you guys think about everything. What do you got going on? Okay, Alaska Dog Lady writes, for those who claim to advocate for neurodivergent, they are quick to attack our little autistic billionaire. Quirky social mannerisms are literally in his diagnosis. Cancel the ADL again. Yes, exactly. It is ironic because they're usually the ones that are like, you can't even say these words. We have to be so sensitive. And like I said, he's been open about the fact that he has Asperger's in the past, and now they're like, no. And it's obviously being compelled by the fact that they hate him because he's aligned himself with Trump, and people can never be evenly split. They can't, it's got to be all hate or all love. No one can just assess things as they are, apparently. This person writes, I can't stand him and his oligarch buddies, but that wasn't an end salute. It was an awkward, rhythmless man that had an involuntary spasm or a tick. I think we agree with that. And again, I am not the biggest fan of Elon Musk, but we can critique him for things that he does, not things that he doesn't do, or certainly didn't mean to do. Bad Hombre writes, hello from California, big fan. You got to get out of there, man. You got to get out of there. Things are getting crazy. Hector writes, glad to know your videos will be able to be monetized again, Candace. Yes, of course, us getting remonetized, the day before Trump assumes office. What do we all think is happening? Again, it felt like a cloud had been lifted when Trump was inaugurated. We understood that we were pretty much living under a communist regime is what it felt like. And then they suddenly had to go, okay, well, Trump is now speaking about putting in place laws that will allow independent creators to go after go after these tech companies for obvious discrimination and things of that nature. It's like, you can't just go, well, I don't like Trump supporters, and so you're not allowed to be on this platform. You know, make your rules, and everyone should have to abide by them. And that did not seem to be the case over the last 4 years. And obviously now some of these techies are speaking out about just what sort of pressure they were receiving from the Biden regime, including Mark Zuckerberg, the world's favorite lizard. Heather Salvatore writes, the people of the Vineyard hate when they are there. Businesses have to close down. This is regarding Martha's Vineyard, by the way, and the Obamas. The people of the Vineyard hate when the Obamas are there. Businesses have to close down during visits for security and lose so much needed income. Zaid agrees and says, can we briefly interrupt this broadcast to comment on the Oxford Union interviewing Bad Barbie? What are our thoughts? Yeah, I did not know that was happening. The Cash Me Outside girl. Apparently she made like $50 million in a couple of years. And I think she's already spoken at the Oxford Union. And I don't know what to say. This is the new generation of income and the new generation of money. And I think she spoke out about how she knew she could make that money because people were creeps on the internet that were waiting for her to turn 18. That is just sad, but it is also true. Before I read these last couple of comments, I'll remind you guys about Tax Network USA, because I know that there are people that are overwhelmed with back taxes and unfiled returns. Well, get ready, because since COVID relief ended, the IRS hired 20,000 new enforcement agents that were proposing millions of pay-up notices for 2025. So if you are worried about their collection tactics, Tax Network USA is there so you don't have to face them alone. Tax Network USA is the nation's premier tax relief firm and has negotiated over $1 billion in tax relief for clients. Their services include penalty forgiveness, hardship programs where you might not even have to repay anything until your tax debt expires, and they offer in-compromise solutions for lump sum settlements. So whether you owe $10,000 or $10 million, their experts are ready to assist you. Even if you're behind on taxes due to missing personal or business records, Tax Network USA can guide you through the process. Dealing with the IRS without professional help is extremely risky, so don't do it. Protect your financial security with guidance from Tax Network USA. To schedule a complimentary consultation, you just call 1-800-958-1000 or visit tnusa.com/Candace. So do not let the IRS's aggressive tactics control your life. Empower yourself with Tax Network USA, tnusa.com/Candace today. Okay. This person writes, Candace, I would love to hear your thoughts on Trump rescinding Biden's executive order that reduced some drug costs for Medicare and Medicaid beneficiaries. I actually did not read about that. I will have to look into that because that does not sound right to me. And so I feel like I would be commenting on something that I'm not actually sure of. I felt that when Trump was in office, he did a lot in terms of reducing drug costs. But I can tell you my overall perspective on this. Medicine, the cost of medicine is being inflated because there's a drug cartel operating in broad daylight in America. And that drug cartel is the FDA that is working with bought and paid for politicians, lobbyist firms, and the manufacturers. We don't have a free market system. Medicine shouldn't cost that much to begin with. So people are constantly looking for Trump or Biden to do this or that about costs. If you want to do something about costs, break up the entire cartel and make it a free market system again so that your medicine costs what it would cost if you went into CVS and bought Tylenol. That's my opinion on that. This person writes, hi, Candace. I was wondering, what are your thoughts on President Trump not putting his hand on the Bible while being sworn in? Love the show. Keep on seeking the truth and bringing it into the light. Okay. That was something that I missed when I was doing my live commentary and people pointed it out. I have to assume, given his speech where he gave and I felt very sincere and heartfelt message about God saving his life. And like I said, I've never heard Trump speak about God as much as he has been speaking about God since he survived the assassination attempt. I have to assume he did that erroneously. But he should, by the way, comment on that because that's a big miss, and it would be very easy. Like if Kamala had did this, we would be like, she's a communist and she's crazy. And if Trump does this, we're obviously more forgiving because we know that he doesn't have this like hatred towards Christians. So I would like to hear him just explain if that was just an accidental miss. I think that would make a lot of people feel better, including myself. This last person writes, I'm literally shaking right now with laughter. You're hilarious. It's too much winning already. I can't take 3 years and 364 more days of this winning. I know. It was a wonderful 24 hours. Genuinely, the internet has been hilarious. People are crying. Everyone's Hitler again. And it's just, nobody is sincere. We're just right back to, they hate us no matter what. And they're going to pretend that they're living under what we all just did live through for the next 4 years. And it's because these people hate the free markets. You know, they want to live in a world where DEI rules the day. The blacker, the gayer, the fatter you are, the more accolades you will receive. And that's just not the reality that the majority of us want to live in. And so we've given Trump the mandate. Hopefully he follows it. Anyways, guys, we will see you tomorrow.